Laser focus.
We're back. We're back. Oh my god.
It's like an assault. It's an assault and instant laser focus. Get ready for this. It's going to be the fastest intro you've ever seen to Hotfix in your life. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Hotfix. It is our awesome video game podcast. You can support the show if you go to the links below, click on the links in the video, or go to patreon.com/Hotfix. Shout out to the people who supported the show from the last one. But actually, it confuses me because we didn't do one last week, so it's the week before. Good God. Let's do this. Swellhead, thank you for the support. It's wonderful. There's also a new post by Swellhead. And he says, cheers for the quality content. Helps me out when I'm writing essays for uni. Not going to lie, I'm a bit disappointed. I thought it would be abuse. Dominic Faree, thank you for the support. Pavel, you've edited your pledge. Down, Pavel. How dare you? But thank you for the support, Pavel. William, thank you for the support. And Fox Wildfire. And William Payne, to give you your full name, thank you for the support. And Fox Wildfire, thank you for the support. And I'm only joking about people reducing their pledge because the fact that you've pledged to us anyway is absolutely le point. So if you do enjoy this show, then go and pledge because it keeps the show going and it is wonderful. It also keeps podcast going, which is a completely irrelevant gaming chat thing, as if we're down a pub, which actually will be done in a pub next week,
at some point. Also, yeah, on the next pubcast, which is on Saturday, we should probably talk about when we're going to do the last pubcast of the year, which we want to do a live pubcast.
Hang on.
But we haven't even worked out a date for that. So we'll just do it as we're talking.
God, the realization has just set in. I just looked at the calendar and next week's Christmas Eve. I'm like,
yeah, it is.
I haven't bought my Christmas presents.
It snuck up. It snuck up quick. It snuck up real bad.
Age is getting the better of me.
I don't have anything for my wife.
Yes. It's okay. I can help you out, bloke.
It's a problem.
Let me just Let me just look at what I've got on my. Oh yeah. She'll be like, "What have you bought here, Johnny boy?" That's what she'll say when you show her this. She'll think it's some sort of implement.
I don't think she's ever said that ever.
Implement. Look, what's this? Look.
What is that? Is that a pressure gas? Is that from?
No. She'll be like, "What is this device? What could it possibly do?"
To repair.
But then when you show her,
tire.
No. It's more fancy than that, son. How would that repair a bicycle tire?
Oh, I didn't see it. Well, what the hell is that? What is it? It's not for your crazy spray.
It's for the suspension. Yeah.
Oh, is it?
No, what this is, it changes the pressure inside the suspension because it's air-loaded oil suspension thing. So you have to have a special thing because you can change it. Like if you know you're going to go on some crazed terrain, take a bit out, boys. Take a bit out. Put a bit in, boys. Take a bit.
God damn.
Moving on. So maybe she wouldn't want this because she doesn't have a mountain bike with a dual diad rear suspension shock on it, does she? Maybe she does.
Not yet, or probably ever. I don't think you could fit.
Which I'll have you know,
could you? Hang it off the back wheel.
It would die. It would die.
Strap it to a skateboard. Tie it to the back.
You know what? You know what really gets me? I hate people who put their kids on the back of bikes, and you know that road by the military base.
Yeah,
I've seen people going down that road with a kid on a little thing, like in the little trolley on the back, and I'm like, why would you do that? That could disconnect.
That's
bad. Somebody could just run the kid over. Oh, I hate that. I hate it, bloke. I hate it. Some people are so irresponsible.
It's
unbelievable.
Disgusting.
Have you ordered one? Have you got one? Do you want me to buy one for Christmas?
No. I'm getting rid of my bike. I don't use it anyway. It's about 18 years old at this point as well. That's an exaggeration. It's not that old.
I know this isn't really Hotfix related, but let me just tell you quickly about my bike because my bike has reached a milestone. I'm nearly done. Well, I've done 650 miles on my new bike, right? Just the mountain bike. The other one, right, barely made it to 300 and died. Do you remember I had a bike before? Got it from Decathlon, which is like, I knew nothing about mountain bikes at the time, and I just was in the shop and I was like, I'll buy it. It was a cheap bike. It died a horrific death. This thing, though, there's nothing wrong with it. Like, it doesn't even care. It's like, it is in the same state it was when I bought it. Okay, there's a few scratches on the frame because I've crashed it, but there's no, like, you don't feel any different. I'm like, this is quality. Yeah, I crashed it 3 times the other day. Because in the wet, bloke, the worst thing is roots to get slimy.
Oh, then you go a bit skiddy, do you? A bit.
Unless you hit them head on. If you hit them on the side, you just slide down and the bike just goes from underneath you. So it's not like a spectacular crash, but you lose the bike and then you go sliding away.
It's treacherous weather out there.
Yeah, it is. I shouldn't even be going out. I'm crazy. I'm like, yeah, let's go. I don't even have winter tyres on the thing. Christ.
So if you see me tweeting about how Sty's dead of the woods, it's down to a horrific biking accident.
My hand. My hand being my hand. Oh, anyway, moving on. Kojima, let's go, bloke. Let's go, Kojima.
Yeah, let's go,
Gaming news
Kojima.
topics.
Let's go. I was going to give some sort of disclaimer, just in case. If this is a little bit late, or if there's some sort of weird like dodginess going on with cameras or sound, my internet connection has been absolutely ruined for the last 2 days. Not
is there? Because you're okay to me.
Occasionally you stop. Your picture stops. Basically, my internet connection is gassed.
My sound's okay though.
Yeah, I've got like a mile of wiring connecting one telephone and internet point to about 8 others leading up into this office, and somewhere in one of them, there's a wire problem. So, what are you going to do? It will be fixed next year, but it's sort of repaired now, but maybe not entirely. So, but it's fine. It's all good. This sounds fine. So you're all fine. It's okay. It's been a horrendous 2 days. Anyway, Hideo Kojima, Mr. Kojima of the Hideo fame, who also made things like stuff you might know, like as what Metal Gear Solid, has formed a new studio and partnership with Sony and has confirmed his departure from Konami. Because, of course, we had no idea he was leaving Konami. He was just on vacation, obviously, and he was still working there all this time, which he actually wasn't. There's quite a funny video where they announce the partnership, and this is what they've got to say. So this is from Polygon. Metal Gear series creator Hideo Kojima has officially moved on from Konami and has started a new independent studio. Kojima's new studio has a familiar name, Kojima Productions. The new Kojima Production, because, the first title would be a new franchise and a PlayStation 4 console exclusive. Shocking, according to a joint announcement.
If this is not PT, I will fucking fight somebody at Sony.
According to a joint announcement with Sony Computer Entertainment, Kojima announced his new post-Konami endeavour in a video posted to the official PlayStation YouTube channel, and the video itself says, PlayStation's history is one of game innovation and great new franchises, says Andrew House, President and Global CEO of Sony Computer Entertainment Incorporated, which is a solid title. President and Global CEO. Hideo Kojima... He's
also British as well, I think.
Yeah, I think he is. Hideo Kojima has been a huge part of that industry, and we are therefore delighted that he has chosen to bring his brand new project to life in partnership with PlayStation. We look forward to working with him on an exciting new game and warmly welcome him to the PlayStation family. I will be taking on a new challenge by establishing my own independent studio, and I am thrilled to be able to embark on this journey with PlayStation, who I have continued to work with all these past years, said Hideo Kojima. I cannot wait to deliver with PlayStation a game that will become a compelling franchise. And he also said
the video?
That his employment contract with Konami has been terminated as of December 15th.
Oh shit!
So he is now free like the wind.
Have you? The video makes me laugh, right? So you got Andrew, and he's like looking into his eyes at Kojima, and he's like he can't, but he's like staring at him, and it's just like, what is going on here?
I'm just playing the video now, obviously without sound, but it's
look into my eyes.
It's what I can only describe as like a loving look, like a kind of
yeah. I think I've seen comments on Reddit and whatever, and they said if you're on a date and somebody looks at you like this, just take them home. It's like, what? It was kind of nice. The fact it's all in Japanese is kind of nice, but you'd expect the global frigging PlayStation man, whatever country he hails from, to be able to speak Japanese. It's probably a requirement in Japanese culture anyway. Working with a big Japanese company. In fact, it's quite rare to see somebody within a Japanese company who's not Japanese holding such a high position, really.
Yeah, I had to, quite a lot of the comments as well were talking about his Japanese speaking prowess. Apparently he's excellent and his pronunciation is pretty much dead on, according to people who are either Japanese or speak the language. But then again, I was thinking to myself, if you're working for Sony and you need to speak to other people at Sony, given where Sony is based, that's probably going to be fairly high on the list of things that you need to do, especially if you want to rise above.
I don't think Japan is like one of those countries where everybody speaks English, like where we can just idiot. Well, I mean, when I was in France last week, I can just walk around like a complete idiot speaking English to everyone, because it's fine, because everybody knows English. But I don't think I could do that in Japan. I'd just be walking around going, right, mate, how's it going? Whatever they say. Stylosa Stylosa, what are you doing? That's like German. I don't know.
What is
right,
that?
So what do I think about this? Well, like I said, if this is not if this is not like a horror game based on what PT was, I will not be happy. Okay. Because that was amazing.
Yeah, I'd be kind of surprised if it didn't end up being something similar to that. And in a way, I kind of hope it is, because this whole development kind of gives a bit of credence, whichever word you want to use for that. Do you remember that story ages ago about Microsoft being in talks with Konami about buying out Silent Hill and Kojima Productions. That was kind of, everyone shut that down. They're like, oh no, it's too much money. There's no way, it would never happen. That's completely stupid. Why would anyone think that? The thing is, deals like that, where you try and either get hold of another studio or another company or another franchise, it doesn't take like half an hour on the phone going, yeah mate, can we have Silent Hill and Kojima and we'll give you some money, and they go yeah, and then you hang up. That's not how that works. It takes months and months of negotiations and stuff. I really wonder whether it was a combination of a couple of things, whether there was in fact actually some sort of bidding war going on, that maybe Sony won but with concessions, so they got Kojima but they haven't got the Silent Hill name. Whether Kojima decided himself where he was going to go, whether he was actually sold on, or whether it was a case of, I am leaving and I will
hear
not
that
work. No?
My phone. It went. It was like the vibration was real. Jesus Christ!
Like,
sorry about that.
I really wonder as well. Like, given the choice, right? Say you had two companies, both were offering really good stuff. Because honestly, Microsoft and Sony would both give a hell of a lot for Kojima to work with them, wouldn't they? They'd have one of the biggest, best known names in gaming history producing games exclusively for their console, because that's what the big war is going to be. It would be exclusive.
But that's
to
what
Xbox,
it already is with consoles. It's what it already is, isn't it? With all the consoles, right? It's like what's exclusive. I mean, we've seen it with like Destiny, which we'll actually talk about Destiny a bit later on. But Destiny you're better off having Destiny on a PlayStation because you get more content, which is like I hate stuff like that. But to me, because I'm a dickhead and I've got every console, it's not too bad for me to just jump around on the consoles. But if I was like just a normal guy and I had the PlayStation, which to be fair, leading up to, remember the launch of the so-called next-gen consoles? Well, I guess the current gen now. But it was, the Xbox was shown to be a really poor console, and all their focus on DVR and TV and all this shit. People were like, what the hell is this about? I would have always bought the PlayStation, but I would have just had the PlayStation, not like now I've got a PlayStation Wii U and the bloody Xbox and all of that. I would still be a bit miffed. I don't like that, but I understand why it's done. And I mean, just to go back a little bit, where you said about the amount of money required, a company like Microsoft paid billions for Minecraft, so they would not be paying billions for Kojima. They wouldn't. It would be some money, but it wouldn't be billions. Yeah. I think as well. Why is he working for Sony? Is kind of an easy answer. Maybe there wasn't an offer from Microsoft, but let's just presume there was. Sony's Japanese.
Yeah,
so he's just going to work for them anyway, ain't it?
That was going to be what I was going to say next. Where it's, if you're offered a chance of working with an American-based company with an American-based culture, when all your working life has been spent working with companies in Japan, you're not going to up sticks and go somewhere completely different with a completely different organisation.
When I was in France the other week, I was told about this thing called Paris syndrome or something, which apparently, if you Google it, is a thing that Japanese people get when they come to Paris, where they like. It's not what they expected, and they can't handle it, and it's like culture overload, and they'll have mental breakdowns. So maybe Kojima would have a mental breakdown. I don't know. Or I think he's already had multiple mental breakdowns given the games that he's produced during production. And
well, it just goes probably just working with Konami's caused that.
Well, at least it's positive news, right? It means we're going to get more games. It means we're going to get better PlayStation games, I presume. And I just hope to God that we get PT. Or whatever the hell PT was going to be.
Given the popularity of PT and how many articles there were, how many people played it and talked about it, and just how quickly it spread as well. Because it wasn't a case where now, if you ask someone, oh, do you remember PT? They go, no, I never heard of that.
And what was it? It was just a marketing thing. It was just a marketing demo for Silent Hills.
Yeah, I mean, they could come out and say, we're announcing a brand new game, a brand new franchise. It's called, I don't know, Quiet Mountain. I don't know, some stupid name, something that is quite clearly, obviously, an 100% Silent Hills. And if he came out and said, "We're going to work with what's his name? Robert
Guillemero or something like that." Yeah, we know what you mean, bloke.
I can't pronounce his name. And what's his name? Norman Reedus.
They're coming back. Walking Dead.
We are working together to produce this game that is not Silent Hills. It's got a different name. It's a different franchise. But it's remarkably similar. People would lose it immediately. That game would sell.
Yeah, and this is clever because Konami have footed the bill for the marketing campaign for that game, and all Sony have done is taken a guy who's out of contract and just said, hey, work for us, and here's money to set up a studio. They haven't bought the guy or paid anybody money for it. So now what they've got to do is go, here is a game based on PT or from the creator of PT.
From the creator of PT, yeah.
Because listen to it, PT is its own thing. It's not a game. It's not Silent Hills. It was just PT. It was this little marketing tool for Silent Hills, but it can still be, because you can still make the Silent Hills game, but just call it something different.
Imagine the cheek of calling it something that has the initials PT. That would be amazing. If they called it, I don't know what they call it, but if they called it something where the
Pneumatic Terror.
Maybe not Pneumatic Terror, but if you short it down to PT,
Pneumatic Terror,
that would be amazing, because Konami would have paid for all of the marketing.
Yeah.
Then they would have made the marketing even better by pulling the demo for PT, as it turns out to be, from the PlayStation Store. I mean, the marketing is already done. It would be incredible if that happened. I don't know if they could. I was going to say I don't know if they could get away with that. If it was a completely new franchise and it was simply in the same genre, you probably could, right? You might have to come up with different monster designs and stuff, but at the end of the day, a horror game is a horror game is a horror game. There's plenty of different games that have got similar, like similar gameplay elements or similar settings, and it's never been a problem before. So,
and I totally think there is a gap in the horror market for these style of games. Anyway, I mean, you look at, actually, you spoke about franchise fatigue. Horror is very much jump scary. You know, it all came about from Amnesia, didn't it? The horror, the current wave of horror games, I suppose. But PT was totally different. It was this more like intellectual, like psychotic type of game. It wasn't just like jump scares in your face,
isn't it?
It did have jump scares, but they were really like you say, subtle. They drawed you in. The execution of them was brilliant. It wasn't just like, oh, and then the window opens. I mean, I played.
They were quite subversive as well, from what I remember watching your video. Like when you go near the one that sticks out to me is when you go near the bathroom door and it's open a little bit, and you look into it. Now, in any other game, especially after the Five Nights at Freddy's era,
oh god,
the door would slam open.
You know what? I've never played that game. I've watched videos on it, but it just looks shit.
Yeah,
and I'm
does. Like in the era we're in now, the door would slam open and a monster would jump out, and that would be the jump scare. Even the jump scares it did have were fairly subversive in that the door closes. It still makes you jump because it's like, oh shit, what was that? But it makes you jump for the opposite reason as to why you think it would. And stuff like when the crazy woman that's going all spazzy and freaking out, when she sort of dashes through you, up until that point, from what I remember from watching your video and other people's videos on it, she doesn't do that. Like, you get close to her and she either disappears or she walks away, or she's not actually able to get to you because she's outside of the room or whatever.
Yeah, so it's just like, better crafted. I mean, the door example is good because it would be lazy to just like leave the door open, because the door's slightly ajar in a room that in a corridor you've walked through quite a few times. You notice it's different, so you're like, okay, something's gone on. But a door that's ajar, you kind of want to look through it. It's like a natural reaction, like what's through the door. So I remember going up to that thinking I'm going to look through the door and there's going to be like someone will go whoa into my face, or the door will like explode or something like that, because that's what you would expect to happen if it was just a generic horror game. But all that happened was a little hand grabs the door and shuts it, and that's it. And that's not like, oh god, but that makes you think, oh shit, what the hell? It gets you in a different way. It's a more like, cerebral was the word I kept using to describe this. It's a more like, it's a better way of doing it. I just hope to God that that's what they do, and whatever.
The thing is as well, though, even if that's not the case, even if they go for something completely different, the artist and the producer from Metal Gear Solid have both gone with him. So they're both now part of, well, I say not part of, they already were, obviously, part of Kojima Productions, but they have come over with him as well. So you've got this sort of dream team of people where if they wanted to do something Metal Gear Solid-esque, or even something completely different, because the thing, something that I think other people are guilty of, and I'm guilty of as well, is I think Hideo Kojima, and I kind of think, oh well, he did Metal Gear Solid and he did Silent Hills, and that's like that's sort of, like, those two genres are like the only two I can associate with him in my head, because those are they're really well known. They've become huge cultural kind of cornerstones of gaming, and so it's like it's easy to just go, oh well, he'll either do Silent Hills or he'll do something that's like Metal Gear Solid. I kind of get the feeling, really, that it's in a way a bit unfair to assume that, because he could just come out with something completely different, like completely out of left field. If he's got the freedom to just go, Sony, I want to make this game. Sony are not going to go, no, mate, no, you're going to make Metal Gear Solid 6.
Because they know anything with his name on is going to sell a fucking shitload. I mean, I don't know. I think, it's going to be very interesting. I'm glad this has happened. I mean, it was odds on it was going to happen. He wasn't just going to disappear and go nowhere. He was going to go somewhere. And out of all of them, probably Sony is the best place for him to go, with him being Japanese and with them being, with him being Japanese, and he obviously would like to work for Sony, and Sony understanding the value of his name on games. I just hope that the next game he makes doesn't have his name on every fucking screen every 10 seconds, directed by, fucking made love to by fucking Hideo Kojima. I understand.
I really want to know if that was originally in there, or when it became apparent that Konami were going to force him out and they were going to take his name off the box, whether he just went, we've got that transition that says directed by and produced by. Put it on everything. Put it everywhere. I don't care where it goes. Stick it in the middle of a cutscene. Just stick it anywhere. And like they ship the game, and Konami's like, the fuck is this? It says, but we haven't got his name on the box. And he's like, well, unfortunately, if anyone plays the game for more than 20 minutes, they're going to see my name 150 times.
Fucking hell, 150,000 times. Christ.
And the other thing as well, because it's such a massive scoop for Sony. I mean, Sony are not in a weak position with the PlayStation 4. They're killing it with the PlayStation 4. So to then get Hideo Kojima, of all people, sort of on side, working with them to produce exclusives for their console.
Think about PlayStation. PlayStation, even like when I was a kid, right? This is going back a while. The PlayStation was seen as the adult console. Nintendo was for kids. Xbox obviously came in and it went after the more like adult kind of thing. But PlayStation was always seen as the thing grown-ups played on. It wasn't like the kids' console. And Kojima is like produces grown-up games, as weird as they are. They kind of are, right? Whereas like Microsoft, they picked up Minecraft. So they're obviously going for the other end of the spectrum. But Microsoft is a bit of a different company. I still think the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 are fairly similar. Like, I mean, I wouldn't like be like, oh God, you're an idiot because you bought an Xbox One. Not now, anyway. I would have been at launch, but not now. But yeah, it's an interesting story, and it'll be interesting to see what this game is. And actually, I've just totally remembered something that we're not going to cover. The new Homeworld game.
It's right. We are. I sent you. I think I sent you a link to it. I'll send it you now. But yeah, I saw that.
No, you did. No, I don't know. Oh yeah, you did. Yeah.
So something else that's quite funny about this is one of the guys from Video Gamer was apparently snooping around the Konami website, and under career opportunities on the Konami website, and I've not actually had a chance to check this myself, but I'm kind of assuming that it's not just a made up thing, because it seems like a lot of effort to go to for a joke that doesn't make any sense. If it is to be believed, this is something that's on Konami's website. Now, as you can see, now recruiting new Metal Gear development staff. The qualifications are experience in high-end game development and planning, boundless imagination and capacity for exciting new ideas, a strong passion towards game creation, the communication skills to effectively communicate your ideas, and of course there's a resume of past work and or portfolio. And as he points out, didn't Kojima have all of these things? So if that's true, I really want to know what the hell Konami's plan is for Metal Gear, now that the creator, director, producer, all of the stuff that appears all over the game endlessly is left. It's just baffling. It's like, what? Are you going to produce Metal Gear Solid 6? I wonder how well that's going to go down.
Games, didn't they? Oh.
Well, yeah,
it would just be a disaster. It'd be boycotted, wouldn't it? Just for
people wouldn't buy
reasons.
that. They'd be like, oh, have they got any of the original guys? Oh no, wait, all the original guys have gone to Sony, so I'm not buying your shit. Go away. I refuse, Konami. Go and make more pachinko machines. Maybe it is a pachinko machine with a plot. Maybe they can have plots. I still don't really know what a pachinko machine is. I feel like I should. It's like a slot machine type thing, ain't it?
Yeah, I feel like I want one. I need one. Yeah, it's like a slot machine with like it's like a computerized version of a slot machine, I think, with like crazy little games on them. I don't know, bloke. I've never been pachinkoed before in my life.
I'll just stick to playing.
I wish I was
games.
though. Yeah, but you win money on these games, bloke. cash money.
Say
Enough
that.
cash money to become the king of the world.
It's a gamble. It's a gamble, bloke. A gamble. Anyway, that's what's happened to Kojima. It's quality. Whatever he produces, I'm sure it'd be at the very least worth checking out. And for I imagine 99% of people, worth buying the second it goes on sale, just because it's Kojima allowed to do what he wants, not working for Konami but working for someone else, which I'm assuming means that he'll be able to do literally anything. Whether he turns out just to do another Silent Hills, which would be pretty awesome, or whether he goes mental with it and does something crazy. I don't know which I prefer. I know most people would prefer Silent Hills because it looked quality, but I don't really like horror games, and so I don't know whether I'd really play it. I'd kind of prefer him to go mental and just do something completely new. But on the other hand, I would absolutely understand if Silent Hills made a comeback, especially since Sony would be able to go, oh yes, well, check out PT, which is now a full game on the PlayStation instead of a demo that you can no longer download. Please call it something to do with PT. Anything. I don't care what it's called. I would take Pneumatic Terror if it was just called PT when he shortened it.
Yeah, but I'm the king of coming up with names, but so Pneumatic Terror it has to be. And it's just a guy who's got like a massive pneumatic drill, and he just runs around, tweet at them, and he just like drills people, and it's like mass, and like the whole game is just it's
Escape
about
the drill.
The drill. No, you're the guy on the drill, and you have to like pneumatically destroy somebody. It's just like one person, and the drill is just pounding into them. And it's like you have to see how long you can destroy them before they die. If they die really quickly, and you lose the game. And like there'll be a leader system.
RoboCop.
Yeah,
drill off the legs and the arms.
And then when they like roll him up outside the precinct, and he's he's got like a drip. It's like, oh my god,
Christ!
Fucking hell, I'd love to be RoboCop.
Unless you get betrayed by a small child because you're not allowed to shoot him. Terrible. What a way to go. Anyway, let's move on, because people have been asking about this. Destiny launches level boost packs priced 25 of your English pounds. You can now pay $24.99, this from Eurogamer as you can tell, to boost a character to level 25 in Destiny. The level packs are available for each of the game's 3 characters, Titan, Warlock and Hunter. As you say, Destiny Expansion The Taken King launched in September with 1 character boost included. This is the same offer, albeit with a subclass boost and some telemetries.
Telemetry. Fucking hell, bloke.
What the? For quickly upgrading
Synapse or Synapse? Synapse or Synapse?
Synapse.
Let's go.
Synapse?
Sure?
Yeah, it's Synapse.
Yeah, are you sure? You sure it's not Synapse, bloke?
I'm sure it's Synapse.
It is Synapse. I'm just trying to confuse you, bloke.
Right, then.
Move on.
That's pretty much it. I mean, this guy's talking about it a bit, but we're not going to read that. We'll talk about it ourselves. £25 for a level 25 character with a fully leveled subclass and some stuff for upgrading your weapon. Worth it? Not worth it?
Yep.
Worth it?
Yeah. We spoke about this before, remember, because we were actually talking about the way attitudes change. World of Warcraft was the example. It would have been a disgrace to be able to buy a character and get it to max level. Now, we're cool with it because we're wankers who don't spend... Well, we are wankers that spend all day playing games, but we don't play one game all day. We're no longer 19. We can't just play WoW for fucking 3 weeks and get a max level character or whatever. We would like to just be able to walk in, buy the expansion, get a leveled character, and then maybe we want to buy for another level character or whatever, and off we go. Why should Destiny be any different? Let's be honest, the whole game of Destiny is end game. You don't care about leveling up because you just go through the same content, then get to the end and go through the same content again for better drops, basically. So why fuck about? The whole point, you're chasing gear, aren't you? You're chasing upgrades. You want to get to the point. It's like Diablo, isn't it?
Yeah.
A very similar game. Any game that's got a very strong loot system or a system which encourages you to go out and better your character through, well, in Destiny, it's light levels or XP and then get better gear. You just want to be at the top level to then go into that. So I ain't got a problem with it. I mean, me and you have played the Taken King, and I had a Titan, which was quite frankly OP, but it would be interesting for me to play a Warlock maybe, but I'm not going to level a Warlock.
Yeah,
so
no.
If I wanted to, I could just buy one. And like to me, I don't see a problem. I've seen a lot of negativity. I mean, actually, when I was streaming the other day, people were coming into the stream. I was streaming MechWarrior Online, and they were like, "Oh, what do you think about Destiny?" And I'm like, "Hey, that you can buy a character." I'm like, "Even what?" And they're getting like really heated about this, and I'm thinking, hang on a minute.
This is a really weird thing because for a start, when you look at Destiny, I think one of the big things is that people, and I can't wait to see how many people get pissed off about this statement. People think that leveling a character is an achievement, and it's not. It just requires time. It's not difficult. Okay, leveling a character from 1 to, is it 100 the level cap for WoW now? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Even though we played the expansion, I can't remember.
No, 90. It's 90,
It's
isn't
90,
it? 100
isn't it?
in the next.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Is it 90?
Yeah.
I thought you got a boost to 90, and then it was
90. I think it's 95 then.
95?
Hang on, let me Google this. Current WoW max level. I don't think. Oh, it is 100. All right, then. That's why I'm cabbage.
Okay. So, leveling your character from level 1 to level 100 in World of Warcraft, and it's going to sound harsh, but it's absolutely true, takes no skill. It takes little to no research.
Yeah.
It takes little to no kind of in-depth knowledge of the game. All it takes is that you have got the time to level a character from 1 to 100. That is not an achievement. Walking around...
It's also not an achievement if you've played the game since 2004 and you have done to death all of this content. You don't care. Like, think of the phases you go through with WoW. This is how it happens to me, right? Earlier on this year, we started the WoW guild in the Cabbage Crew. Some of the guys in the community did, which when Legion comes out, I've no doubt we'll play for a little bit and then go our separate ways like we usually do with WoW. But when I went back and played it, the very low level areas, I remembered what they were like, and it was kind of like, Then as you get up to your 20s, to your 30s, your 40s, it kind of got fairly interesting to me again because I'm going around areas which I wasn't that familiar with. It's been a very long time since I've been there. Some areas I hadn't even been to, like the, the place by Lordaeron, the undead area.
Yeah.
That had been remade with Cataclysm, but I hadn't even been there. You know where Dalaran used to be?
Yeah.
Suddenly became 10 times as big and flew away to Ice World. But so and then you hit the thing of like, okay, we're in Outland, and you remember straight away, right, I remember this, and it becomes a bit of a ball ache, and you're like, right, Hellfire Peninsula, Zangra Marsh, blah, blah. And then you get into the mode like I would get into, like, I can't be bothered no more.
Yeah.
But how long did it take me to get there? Not that long, because you can level really quick, and obviously with heirloom items and just going into dungeons, you practically get 2 levels of dungeon, so it's a bit ridiculous. But yeah, you hit a wall, don't you? And it's like, okay, it's not that much of a stretch for somebody to just go, right, I'll just pay for a max level character, then just get into the game. I honestly, I don't see a problem with this now, and it is very interesting to me to see how my attitude has changed over the years, where before it was completely unthinkable, but now it's like I can, it's fine. It's fine.
I would have been absolutely against it, like until maybe a couple of years ago. But the fact is that I think one of the biggest problems is I spent so much time doing this, it's not fair that someone else should be able to pay to do it. Well, the thing is, what you've done isn't that impressive, and it doesn't really mean anything in the long term. Like, the leveling aspect of any MMO, it's not the point of the game. The point of the game is the end game. That's what most people are aiming for. That's what the game itself is judged by. That's what the developers are focusing on. It's what happens when you get to max level. Now, if someone were to be able to buy the latest raid armor and raid weapons and was standing there in Orgrimmar going, look how great I am, and you'd spent like months and months grinding this stuff, I would absolutely understand the complaint, because that would be bullshit. They've got something for free that you had to earn. They've achieved the same thing as you, but they've taken a shortcut. But this isn't the same. Like, you've got that stuff because you know the mechanics, you know the bosses, you have managed to get a big group together, you've been able to do this.
Hey, hang on. Don't you think this is weird, though? That mentality with games is pretty weird. I mean, I don't condone buying power or anything like that. It's bullshit. But look at the real world. People buy power all the time. Money is power, really. I know it's sad to say that, but it is. In games, though, it's like, no, I don't want you to walk in, Mr. Kirioth, with your 10 million quid in the bank and go buy all the best raid gear and sit there like, yeah, look at me, I'm a king. But why do we get so offended at it? I don't know. I know why we do.
Yeah.
Because everybody's equal, really. And I don't know, but it's weird when you think of it like that, isn't it?
I suppose it is kind of weird.
You can imagine business people. Well, you can imagine business people sitting there being like, yeah, this is why horrendous mobile games come out, because they know people will just sit there and be complete dickheads and pay for power.
Yeah. I mean, it's
weird,
it's a weird distinction, because I'm like, it doesn't. The leveling part of it doesn't matter, and buying something like that doesn't matter. But if you're going to take a really sort of strict kind of, I guess, just real world attitude towards it, the army you got from raiding doesn't really matter either, because it's a game and it's just what people do for fun, and therefore someone wants to buy. But for some reason, I place different importance on it. I think I place different importance because, as I said, leveling from 1 to 100 doesn't require any skill or any real effort. It just requires the time investment. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Actually getting the top tier raid equipment at least requires the cooperation of like however many other people, like 24 other people or 39 other people. It requires doing the same thing over and over again. So it still requires the time commitment, but it also requires the skill to get it right every time. It relies on organization. It relies on the people that you're doing it with to be close enough and be sensible enough that you're able to. I'm saying this, and I don't actually know how the raid system works anymore in WoW. I'm assuming it's the same as Days of Old, where I'm assuming everyone just doesn't get a piece of gear at the end of the raid, right? Or do they?
I don't know. Well, I know in dungeons everyone gets a piece of gear.
Yeah.
Oh, you might do. You might do. You totally might do.
But you've still.
But your point still stands. The whole point with raiding and getting raid gear is it's the coordination. It's, I guess, this could be a decent comparison. It's the difference between like somebody who's a high-end raider. That would be somebody with like a PhD degree, right? Because they put the time in. You can't just buy this. You have to put the time in and the effort in to get to that level.
Yeah.
You get the distinction of having that compared to somebody with just GCSEs, who would be the person who just got to level 100. That's the difference. And obviously, I don't condone being able to buy power in games. I just thought that would be a funny thing to throw out there because it's really weird, isn't it? Because if I was like a multimillionaire, I could have Ferraris and massive houses and whatever. You possibly cannot have that, but you wouldn't get angry at me because I was a multi-million. You'd just be like, you wouldn't care. You'd be like, well, whatever, that guy's got a load of money. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. But
that's one of the reasons
I wouldn't buy a Ferrari either. You know what? If I had loads of money, I wouldn't buy.
No, I wouldn't
go in and buy like a ridiculous car or anything.
Yeah,
no.
I wouldn't see the point. It would be point. I mean, unless you're going to give me enough money to buy a racetrack to go round in it, then I'm not going to bother because it's. But
you'll get stuck behind the grannies in them eco 1 litre fucking no tax.
Or the man in hat, with the flat cap
with driving gloves.
Yeah, always with driving gloves, and you can see them when they're parked up because they leave the cap on the back on the shelf at the back of the car.
Yeah. And they'll have a disabled badge as well.
Yeah. Anyway, this is why I don't give a shit about the level boost for Destiny. I don't understand why you care, because getting to level 25, I mean, that's not even the max level now. That just takes you up to Taken King content, because the level boost that you got when the game launched, when the Taken King launched, was a boost to level 25, which allows you to start playing the new content, which is the Taken King. So you're not even at max level, because I believe max level is level 40, and from that point on, you start doing light level. So you're not getting all the way. Instead, you're skipping old world content.
The thing. Yeah, it's just the thing, isn't it? It's that level boost.
It's just
that
level boost.
The
only difference is that you get to level up your weapons with the telemetries, which I can now pronounce, and and one subclass. Now
you'd be no good as an astronaut, bloke.
By this point,
astronaut Kirioth. We need information on the retro booster telemetry. The what? Telephone.
The telemetry. But yeah, it doesn't even take you up to the current content. You've still got, to the current end game. You've still got to play the game for 15 levels just to get to the point where you're at an equivalent point of someone who's leveled from level 1 to level 40. And let's face it, Destiny, especially Destiny, and I know this is happening to a lot of different games, and in a way it's kind of unfair to single out one as being acceptable, but of all of the games where you can do this, Destiny, it is the most acceptable to do this, because Destiny's original content is shit, right? It's shit. It's boring. It's dull. Nothing happens. There's no story. All you get told for 20-something levels is, I don't have time to explain, which is not a good gameplay experience. And up until recently, you couldn't even skip the fucking cutscenes. So you were stuck playing the entire thing literally all the way through, and you had no way of speeding it up. Now, I know they've made it so you can skip them now, so it's slightly different, but it's still not fun. It's still not interesting. If you're someone who's already got a character on Destiny, you don't want to see that shit again, because what little of it there was completely forgettable, and you don't care. So being able to skip it is fine, because it's still not an achievement. It's still not taking away from what you've done. If you've got to level 25 and you're proud of it, that's great, but so have countless other people. And in the grand scheme of things, when the level cap is 40, you getting to 25 means approximately fuck all, because that doesn't require anything.
Well, it's just a fast track service, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whenever I go to a theme park, I'd always pay for the fast track thing, even though it's more expensive, because I don't want to stand in the queue. Not because I'm some sort of dick who thinks I'm above people. It's because At the end of the day,
you want to play the end game
valuable...
content now.
Yeah. What's the most valuable thing in this world to everybody?
Yeah, it's time.
Exactly.
And I'm
so
not gonna...
it is shady that they are selling time to people, but on the other hand, I think it's totally acceptable. Because as Kiri says, this is not like you're getting all the best gear. It's not like you're shoved up to a level where you just suddenly are amazing and you're competitive with a guy who spent hundreds and hundreds of hours at max level raiding God knows what. You're not. You're just at the gateway to go in there. It's like your turn on the ride now. And maybe that's shitty game design, that the game is so shit up until that point. Which, okay, I think that just happens with MMOs, anything that's loot driven, Diablo,
and like when you get to
Path of Exile, anything.
When you get to stuff being as big as games like World of Warcraft and to an extent Destiny, because there's a lot of additional content from when it was launched. It's not a small game anymore by any means. The fact is that when you're pushing a new expansion, when you're pushing new content, and you've got to get to level 40 in Destiny and level 100 in WoW, you are not going to attract new people by saying, come and play our game. Oh, by the way, you need to have at least 2 months to sink into this before you even get to the bit that you've just paid for.
Yeah.
Because that is a really good way of getting people to take one look at the game and go, no, I'm not doing that. Why? I've just paid for the Taken King and you want me to play through God knows how much original story? I don't care about this. You promised me this at level 40, you promised me this type, these raids, these instances, you promised me this, that, and the other, and I'm not getting any of this until I've spent hours and hours and hours playing something else. I don't want to do that. Give them a boost. Especially for things like World of Warcraft. I mean, if I'd never played WoW before, and I've never played WoW, not once, not touched it. You've played the Legion Alpha. You're like, when this comes out, you should get it. The level cap goes up to 110. Say, I think it's 110 or is it 105? Either way, it's above 100. That's a lot of levels. It's a hell of a lot of time. I don't actually
know. I'll Google it, bloke, while you're ranting.
If you said to me, come and play Legion with me, I've got a character at the level cap right now. We can go straight into it. I've never played World of Warcraft before. I loaded it up. Yeah, and it was like, I'm at level 1, you're at level 100, and you're not even at the level cap for Legion. I would immediately shut the game down and never play it. Because I'd be like, I've got to get 110 levels to be able to play, like, the actual content for this game. No. Who the hell's got time for that? No one's got time for that. I'm not going to do that. Get lost. That's why there was a boost for Thingy, the last one.
Well, remember. The thing is that people did have time for this when WoW was, 6, 7, 8 years ago, when we were younger, and we did have time for this because that's what we do, is play games. You don't now, though, and WoW's age, as the average age has gone up with the game, because I don't think WoW, you never really see like a massive influx of new players in WoW. It's just people coming back to WoW, isn't it? It's not like League of Legends is this kind of generation, or the younger generations. WoW, isn't it, where they all jump onto that bandwagon. It's all free to play. All the it's got a vastly younger audience, I'd say, than WoW. Whereas WoW is different. But then, of course, this means that they can monetize their audience in different ways, and that's why things like level boosts are fine, and they don't really get slammed on. I mean,
Yes.
I mean, the Legion. I played the Legion Alpha, and it's actually quite good. The Legion Alpha is. It's better than I thought it would be. Even the Demon Hunter things are quite interesting to play.
Yeah.
Because they're very mobile, and it's very weird to play a character in World of Warcraft which can double jump, dash forward twice, and then fly. That's so weird to play. I've seen in PvP it could be a nightmare, but it's quite good. Like, you're really maneuverable. It's like, whoa.
Yeah,
anyway.
I don't really see the issue with it, because it's not taking anything away from people who do want to do it the traditional way, or people who have got the time to do it the traditional way. It's not cheapening the experience for anyone. It's not making it any worse. For some people, it's making it a lot better. Like, for instance, if I still played Destiny, then I would probably end up doing it, because I don't want to hunt anymore. I'd quite like to try Titan, but I'm not going to level to level 25 in Destiny, because I don't have time. B, I'm not interested in the old story because it's crap. And C, I've got the option to skip it. So why wouldn't I skip it if I haven't got the time or the inclination to do the first two? It's just not that big a deal. There are going to be many people telling us that it is that big a deal. But that's fine. I want to know, actually. I do want to know.
No, I don't think there will. I don't think it will be, because our age group of our fans is our age, and I'd be very surprised if people go on massive rants saying it's terrible.
I mean, if there is
probably people won't care, but
if there is someone who's sitting there thinking I don't agree with anything you've said, then by all means say why, because I'd quite like to know why it's not an acceptable thing to do. I tell you what, let's. I don't know which to go for. Let's talk about Elite Dangerous Horizons.
Okay, this is an interesting one.
So, Elite Dangerous Horizons did not land today. It landed on December the 15th, and it's now out. So, Horizons means that you can sit on a planet, land on a planet. You can get out of your ship and sit down. Any rocky world that you find can now be set down upon and explored in the new Scarab Recon vehicle. And there's a little trailer here so you can have a look at it. I'm just going to skip through to the bit where you're actually on the planet because that's the point. There we go. There's a little lad. He's going off across the sandy, rocky dunes.
Yeah, this is what you get, right? So you get loot and crafting. So unlock a world of customization options that add new value and meaning to every action. Multi-crew, so you can have teams of players in one ship. Commander creation, which gives you a unique appearance to players and in-game avatars. Ship-launched fighters, allowing larger spacecraft to carry their own short-range fighter ships for attack and defense. And obviously, you can land onto planets and you can deploy the Scarab and drive around the planets. I believe there's combat on planets as well. Okay, that's fine. This is 40 quid. I haven't played this. I've reached out to them, but it didn't get back to me because I've got to be honest, Elite is a game I really enjoyed when it came out, but I viewed it as a game that was still in development, and it still is, and it took them so long to do stuff. I remember me and you played it. I played it a lot longer though than you, and we were waiting for the Wingman update to come out, and it got delayed, and I just stopped playing it then because at that time we couldn't play together in a like a squadron or anything, and we were all ending up in different instances of all kinds of stuff, and it was a bit weird. So just to give you my kind of overview of this game, there are a couple of things which annoy me with Elite, and even though I think it's a really good space sim, like the actual combat, the flight feels really great. The fact you can switch between offline and online is really annoying to me because it means you can trivialize the game to such a degree where you can just go offline so you can never be attacked by another player, but you can still function in the world. It's like you're still actually online because you need to be online. Like it's online, always online, but you can be in your own private instances where you know you're never going to get attacked by players. That makes it shit to me because I want the thrill of getting wrecked. I also wanted to be the guy who would wreck people, interdict people in frame shift and kill them. That was what I wanted to do, but it was impossible to do it. Well, no, it wasn't impossible. You could do it, but again, it's like you're waiting around a lot, just hoping for people to turn up because the galaxy is so big. But the biggest issue, there's nothing to do.
Yeah.
Now in Elite, all you do is earn money to buy a better ship. That is it. And every ship is essentially better than the previous ship. The Cobra is wrecked by the Cobra Mark III, which I think is a bigger one. The Anaconda is like way better than a Cobra, and it just goes up like that. There's no like, you know, Eve Online, right? In Eve, remember when we joined a corp in Eve, and we were, I forget what the term was, but we had like ship frigates, but we actually had a job in the fleet engagement. We had a job. We wasn't like just throw away and shit. Like don't take these ships, just take better ships. There was a point to that ship. Also in Eve, there are like pirate ships or ships which are, you know, they might be faster, they might be more maneuverable. Yeah. They're better for a certain task, and they're very geared towards that kind of thing. In Elite, a lot of the combat takes place 200 to 500 meters away from the ship, so speed doesn't really matter because you get the gimbaled weapons that lock on anyway because they're all like from turrets. So the Anaconda, you will never beat an Anaconda in an Eagle, which an Eagle is like a fighter. You had the Eagle, remember? It's like a fast,
I quite like
very
that
maneuverable.
ship.
It would not beat an Anaconda. Now, there might be people out there who say, oh, yeah, there might be a cheesy way of doing it or whatever, but straight up, it wouldn't beat it. So that guy has a better ship than you just because it's a more expensive ship. So it makes all the other ships kind of redundant. I know they did a thing where there's a dogfighting mode where I think you have to use the Eagle in that, which is probably quite fun. But again, it's just like a little arena. You're not out in the open world, like experiencing this massive universe, which is what I wanted. And quite frankly, is what Star Citizen, I hope that provides, where you do have this risk and reward factor. I mean, Elite is all about risk and reward. It's about exploration. But really, to me, it was too easy to just get the money. And all I always do, I mean, once I had the Cobra Mark III, which is vastly more expensive than the initial ship I started off with. The next one, I believe, was the Anaconda at that time. It was like 1,000 times more expensive than the ship I had, but it was just way better. And all I would be doing would be going on like missions just to kill like NPCs. I'd be scanning people. I'd be getting bounty hunting is what I did. I'd be scanning people to see if they had a bounty and to kill them if they did. And that'd be it. And I'd just be doing that for hours and hours and hours until I eventually got a better ship, of which I'd do it again. Because a big limiting factor in EVE when it comes to ships, because the ship design is very, you either like it or you don't. It's very angular. It's elite, so everything's a triangle. There are other factions that do make fancier ships and they do look a bit better. I forget the names of the producers, but of the manufacturers. But the big limiting factor is the entrance into the space station. Your ship has to fit through that. So they can't make massive ships.
Yeah.
They can't do other things like that. Everybody has to go into the space station, and it's fine, but it means that Anaconda can't be the biggest ship. At least that's what I believe. But the reason why I am no longer really interested in this game is because even with this expansion, and it's a very expensive expansion for what you get.
It really is.
You don't really get anything else to do. You're still just going to be existing in a world trying to make money, and you don't really have a point to your existence because the world is fragmented and it's not everybody's online. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to call the game a failure because I don't think it is. I just think it's like, I mean, you're the guy.
Misjudgments, though. I think there's misjudgments.
You're a guy who should like this game.
Yeah,
you don't.
Yeah, I mean, I am surely just the target market for this because, I mean, Freelancer is one of my favorite games of all time. I played the shit out of that game, and at first, when I first played Elite Dangerous, it was like, oh god, this is like an up to date kind of more realistic in terms of ship physics and stuff. Freelancer, this is quality. And then after a week, I had nothing left to do. I was just done. It was missing all the things that made Freelancer great for me because it was missing the community. It was missing the ability to play with other people. It was missing the ability to specifically, at that time when I played it, like single someone out and say, let's have a duel or something. It was missing out on ways to make money and stuff.
We wanted to like hide at nav beacons or something. And when people come in, because like the nav beacon in a system is where you would jump in like by the sun. And we want to wait there. And be like, when people come through, we want to role play like idiots and be like, look, listen, you need to give us your cargo, or you need to do something else. We're going to kill you. Because you can do things in Elite, like you could shoot the cargo door so the cargo would spill out, and all this stuff. But I think we managed to do it maybe once, and it was just like
because there's just no one there. No one ever.
We just sit in there, wait, because everybody's in their own instance or they're in different instances, and it's like never ever once felt like a big world, and I think that's the biggest downfall of that game. You do not feel like you're in a universe. You feel like you're in your own private universe a lot, and it really needs to be a game where everybody exists all the same place.
Everywhere kind of felt the same, and there was no one there. I mean, I get in a universe that big as well. There's that whole thing. I have seen people where they've said things like, "Oh, well, you're not really supposed to see people that much." Well, you sort of should. Like around space stations and stuff, at the very least, there should be a hive of activity. There should be ships coming and going. Hell, the server I played on for Freelancer was 128 slot at one point, which didn't last very long because the game just simply was not built to handle that. But when those few occasions where the entire server was full, even the remotest station that happened to sell one of the really good weapons for that mod, even that remotest station saw at least like maybe 10 to 20 ships turn up over the course of an hour. In the course of an hour in Elite, I saw Sty, and that was about it. I maybe saw one other person going into or coming out of the station, and then as soon as they disappeared, it was gone. No one. There's just no one there. That's not populated. That's not interesting. That's just... It felt soulless and empty. And you do not want a game to feel soulless and empty. You don't... Oh.
It really appeals to... Like, people laugh and say it's just Euro Truck Simulator in space. And it kind of is. You know, if you just want to be the guy who does trade missions, because I think quite a lot of them, like I remember at one point there was like a whiskey you could buy from one station, maybe 10 jumps away from some other station, and come back and you'd make like millions in profit, and it was like you just keep doing that. It was the best way to make money. That's kind of boring, but it's boring to me. It's not boring to some people. And what we're saying is we want this massive universe with people to be able to see each other and all that stuff. Some people don't, but I firmly believe The people that don't are a much smaller audience, and that's why Elite Dangerous is never going to be a very big game because it's very small, and it does hark back to the Elite of old, like people who are ancient to us now, playing on their BBC computers. They would have played Elite, and would have been, this is amazing, because it was what they managed to do. Given the fucking memory on the bloody thing was ridiculous, but those are the people who are like, well, Elite, I want Elite, and I'm going to play Elite. And okay, it is a modern Elite, but actually, you know what? I think its biggest problem is it's old. It's old game design in a modern era, and I'm afraid it doesn't work. It's fine. It was fine years ago to be going around on your own and doing whatever, but now it's not. Now you want to be with other people in a massive universe, be able to take part and do stuff. And there are games that offer that anyway, and this game doesn't, and it's too stuck in its ways.
And if that could be achieved with modding Freelancer, God knows how many years ago, I don't understand why it was difficult to achieve now.
And it's going to be achieved by Star Citizen.
Hopefully. In fact, we'll go on to Star Citizen. I'm going to switch over to desktop and set.
Haven't they got 100 million now in funding?
Yeah, they've got 100 million, and set the latest trailer going, not the 2.0 trailer. Whilst the trailer's going, I'm just going to hang up on you and call you back because Skype's big and pain in the bum. But the sound's fine, so don't worry about it, everybody.
That's fine. The sound's okay. That's all that matters.
I apologise for the jerkiness of the last bit, but as I did say before, internet issues at the moment, because we know how to enjoy ourselves around here. So, this is the Pupil to Planet trailer for Star Citizen. Now, Star Citizen 2.0 launched, I think was it earlier this week, or was it weekend?
No, it was a couple of days ago, I think it released.
I really want to take a look at it. I've just not been able to at the moment for obvious reasons. But they hit 100 million. They released the Alpha 2.0, which is available to backers now, and they've also released this kind of trailer for seamless transition from space to ground level. And what they've said, like for the space to ground level thing, is that the planets are massive. They're proper sized planets. They're huge. So when you get close to the planet, as you sort of fly around it to find like a landing spot, it procedurally generates the bit of the planet that you're looking at, so that you can then land on it, because you wouldn't be able to have the whole planet like pop in at the same time, kind of thing, because it would. I think they said it was too big. There we go. Since the planet could never fit in memory, the planet surface is procedurally generated on demand as you're kind of going around it and going on it.
Yeah, so it loads on demand.
Yeah, if they can actually nail it so that you see the planet in space and then you fly in towards the planet, and there's no loading, there's no screen, there's no cutoff point. You just go straight in and just land on the thing. That would be amazing. Like there's really been a couple of prototypes showing this kind of thing.
No, there is a video. I don't know where this is, but it was from a Spanish guy from yesterday, and he does it. He flies down onto a planet, and it's like, okay, then.
In fact, that will be the video that's above this then.
It's some Spanish video, I think it was Spanish, and some guy just flies down onto a planet.
Yeah, first seamless procedural planetary landing gameplay. So I'm assuming it is this one.
Yeah, just skip through that, and the guy flies. This is the kind of, like, okay, everybody gets this when they look at Star Citizen. You look at it and you're like, yep, this is a game that is modern, and it appears to be pushing all the boundaries. Look at the graphics. I mean, okay, it's running on CryEngine. I played MechWarrior Online yesterday with CryEngine, and that's like nowhere near as good, obviously, because it's a older game, an older version, I suppose. You look at Armored Warfare, that uses CryEngine again. Obviously, the engine scales. I get that, guys, and all of that stuff. But then you look at Star Citizen, and you're like, what the fuck? And people are putting videos out, and it's like they've got fucking 980s in SLI or something ridiculous, like £1,000 worth of GPU just to play the game. And it's like, holy shit, that is a game which is, like, I remember years ago, like, I always used to be obsessed with, not obsessed with graphics, but obsessed with the way, like, it was really nice to me to play something that was pushing the boundaries. And for so long now, stuff doesn't really push the boundaries technically, but this appears like it is. Obviously, there's a lot of arguments of, like, you know, is the game actually going to launch and what's going to happen and all of that stuff. But this looks really impressive. It's been a while since I've seen something from Star Citizen that looks really impressive. And that's not just a fucking advert to sell you a ship. It's like, look at this. The size of the planets. I mean, hell, it has to be procedurally generated, because how the hell would they make planets anyway?
Yeah.
In a galaxy, right, Bob, here's your job, make 1 billion planets. Okay, boss. I mean, what? That just would not be a thing, would it? So I'm sure they've got a team. I watched a video from Shaq, the XP Gamers. I know he watches Hotfix sometimes. If he does, hello, and say hello in the comments. I watched a video from him, and he explained what was going on. And yeah, they obviously can't render the entire planet, as you say.
Yeah,
they have to render sections of the planet, but it's I want to play that now. In fact, I will. I'll download the alpha and I'll have a look at it with my garbage ship or whatever the hell I've got. Because I think that one guy, it might even be this Spanish guy, he's got like the massive thing which costs like loads of money. It's like a massive ship with like 4 engines in it, and it's got all like
is that the $10,000
I don't know,
or something?
Some crazy ship, and I'm just like, what? I've got like a $30 joke shop ship, but
now I have to admit, and I know there we go. That's quality. People obviously know this because I've said this before. I kind of got serious Star Citizen fatigue in a way because I kept seeing loads of like milestones hit for money raised, and it was like, here's a new ship, here's another new ship, here's another ship. Oh, by the way, here you go, you can play FPS. And I was like, I don't care about any of that. I don't really care. I want to fly around and find planets and mug people and stuff. I don't want to be in an arena, and I don't want to shoot someone in space with a space machine gun. I want to fly my ship and do crazy stuff with it. Watching the video for 2.0 and watching and just seeing that with the seamless landing, I'm now I'm back on the Star Citizen hype train that I was on when I plonked down a stupid amount of money for the ship that I've got. I'm now back into it now. I want to play it. I have not felt like I've wanted to play Star Citizen because I was getting to the point where it was like every day it was like, we've raised another $8 million, woo! And I was like, great, where's the goddamn game? Where's the game? Where is it? I want to play the game. Where's the actual game? Where is it? I don't want to care about the FPS module. I don't care about the racing module. I'm not interested in those. I want to experience it. The thing that I put the money towards. That's what I want. And it wasn't there. It wasn't happening. Or it was being pushed back, or, oh, we're going to work on this first, or, oh, we've come up with a brilliant new ship design. It's yours for $90. And I'm just sort of sat there going, I've got a ship. I don't care about any of this. Give me the... It looks like I can actually do that now. And I'm actually properly excited again. And I thought I'd got past the point of ever going back to being excited about Star Citizen. But actually, now, I just want to play it. And this is the thing that makes Elite seem a bit just cold to me. Yeah, you can land on planets. Yes, you've got, progression in the form of being able to get a new ship and all this kind of thing. I look at it and I don't feel like I'm playing Freelancer again. But I look at that footage just there of landing on that planet and seeing your ship in third person, and I feel like I am about to play another Freelancer game, which is what I want. I know it's not exactly the same as Freelancer. I know there's obviously differences, but I don't know. The release of 2.0 and all the bits of footage that have come with it and all of that, it's made me actually excited to play it again. Because I enjoyed the combat module when you're doing the Vandal Swarm thing. I quite enjoyed that, but that was a long time ago, and it was only one small aspect of an overall massive game.
Well, last time I touched this game was when the Arena Commander thing came out. I loaded into it. I got wrecked because I've got a crap ship. Went on the forums and people were like, "Oh God, whatever ship you've got," because I know you've got the one above, the whatever the hell that is, the Hornet or something.
Yeah, I don't know. The Hornet.
But it's like way better, and that was just killing everybody. And I was like, well, this is like, okay, I get it's not obviously balanced or anything at this point, but and would it ever be with a better ship compared to whatever I had? But I was just like, okay, it looked all right. Performance was shit, and I was like, great. And I didn't really touch it then. But seeing stuff like this does make me want to go and download the client, which is probably massive, I reckon, and just check out
28.9 gig.
That's not that
which
bad.
Is not bad, really. I'd imagine.
No, in Call of Duty, it's like 70 gig. It
and then
just gives you a black screen.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to playing that again now, and it's nice to see something. See, this is the thing. This is just my bias showing, because I kind of kept thinking to myself, it's nice to see something solid, but realistically, there has been something solid. There's been several things that are solid. There's been the FPS module, there's been the Arena Commander, there's been the racing module, and all this shit. It is obviously solid. It is obviously there. But I think I was just waiting for something that could maybe combine them all in some way, or make it feel a bit more like the thing that I backed, as opposed to different pieces of the thing that I backed, but not for those pieces. So, yeah, I want to take my ship out. I want to fly around and play with it. So hopefully the bloody internet lasts long enough for me to do it, because I was going mental. I think we should do more ship news, more space, more ship. Except it's not really, because it's on sand. There's a surprise Homeworld prequel. It's not really.
This came out yesterday.
It's
not. Can I just talk about this, please?
Yeah, go on.
I don't even need to look at the articles. I'm such a fucking addict. So basically, there was the guys from. I do need to look at the article, because what was the company called? Blackbird
Interactive.
Yes. Yeah, these were set up by the guys who actually made Homeworld, right? A lot of the original team members from was it Sierra who made Homeworld? I don't know, but from the original Homeworld team, let's say, and they wanted to make a game called Hardware Shipbreakers, and this was a RTS game like Homeworld, but on a planet, not in space. And it looked just like Homeworld. The trailers came out for this, and it was like, okay, this looks good. Everybody could see it was Homeworld, but they didn't have the IP, because THQ had the IP, and THQ went bankrupt, remember?
Yep.
Well, when THQ went bankrupt, Gearbox bought the license. So obviously I got angry with this, because I don't really like Gearbox. And Gearbox were then like, we're going to remake Homeworld. Great. To be fair, they did a good job, so I'm fine with that, and I'll take it. But they also, while this was all going on, is they got Blackbird, and I don't know what they did, whether they bought them or they just said, look, we'll be a publisher or whatever, but they gave them the rights to Homeworld. They said, look, it's a Homeworld game, call it a fucking Homeworld game. So that's why now we've got Homeworld's Deserts of Kharak, which is a game which I believe is based before the events on Homeworld, because Homeworld is all about, they find the they basically want to go back to the Homeworld, as the game suggests. They want to go back to Higara, which is where they've come from, and they get all these technological advancements from the discoveries that they make, and the hyperspace core. Because I don't want to spoil the lore, but it's all about the hyperspace cores, and each like major civilization has got a hyperspace core and all of this, and you've got the all of that stuff going on. This is set before that. This is on Kharak, where you're in the desert. Now, when I was watching this, it looks very Homeworldy, because you have what looks like a land aircraft carrier driving around, and that looks like the mothership. I mean, really all the ships, and you got aircraft and you got tanks and whatever driving around. So people said it looks like Ground Control and Homeworld have had a baby, and I like Ground Control. I don't know whether it looks too much like Ground Control. I don't know, but we'll have to see. But it didn't come out of the blue, but there was just suddenly an announcement yesterday, and suddenly I'm getting loads of PR emails going, oh yeah, by the way, Homeworld Deserts of Kharak. And I looked at it and I'm like, what? Just off the name, is this like an expansion to the Homeworld remaster they've made? But no, actually it was Hardware Shipbreakers. I'm like, oh shit, this is Hardware Shipbreakers. So immediately I'm emailing him like, give me a key, I need access to this fucking hell.
It's the second renaming. So first it was Hardware, then it was Homeworld Shipbreakers. Because it looks like Blackbird.
But it was called Hardware Shipbreakers as well.
Yeah,
at one point.
And then it's Homeworld Shipbreakers, and now it's Homeworld Deserts of Kharak, and it looks like there's an agreement between Gearbox and Blackbird. So I think by the sound of it, Blackbird is still independent from Gearbox, but they've come to an agreement whereby they can use the Homeworld name.
That beard did sound better.
Blackbeard. Did I say Blackbeard? I was reading Blackbird on the screen. I don't know why I said. But yeah, I like that. For all that Gearbox has done the evil every now and again, it's kind of good that this is a thing, because I was the same when I saw the first trailer. It was like, oh look, it's Homeworld, but on a planet. Oh, it's not called Homeworld? What the hell's going on? I don't understand. They've obviously just gone, yeah, you clearly wanted to make a prequel to Homeworld, so we'll just go for it. Take it away.
Yeah.
If it's anything like the Homeworld remaster, it'll obviously be pretty good, because the Homeworld remaster they did a good job on. Gearbox did. And if Blackbird has got all the originals, then surely it's going to be a really decent real-time strategy. And let's face it, we don't get those all that much.
You know what I'm hoping for? No, we do. But what I'd like is a really strong campaign from this game, because The Homeworld campaigns, Homeworld and Homeworld 2, and even Cataclysm, I think they're solid campaigns, but they're very memorable campaigns. You remember things where planet gets wrecked and you have to run away and all of this stuff. You remember that stuff. I'd like that to be in this game, but we'll have to see. But it is coming out fairly soon. I think it's coming out in January. I think it said so. It'll be out next month, and yeah, it's kind of interesting because this year in January, Homeworld Remastered came out, and then next year we get a new game. I'll take it. I'll buy that for $1.
I think it might be more than $1. Unless they do a decent thing and send it over, surrender it now. Let's go for another surprise announcement. I don't know if it's a surprise or not. It was for me. System Shock 3 is now official. So it's been a while since System Shock 2. I think it's probably an understatement. But Other Side Entertainment has officially revealed that the studio is developing System Shock 3. As PC Gamer points out, there's not much to see at this point, but it's definitely actually happening. The thing that gets me is, without wishing to sound harsh, without wishing to upset people, why are we getting a System Shock 3 this far along? I know System Shock is very much I don't know whether to count it as a cult classic or not, because it's fairly widespread popular.
System Shock 2 is... System Shock is old. System Shock 2 is very playable with mods to it, and you can get it on GOG. It's like one of the best games ever made. This is again, like, from the whole, like... is this being kickstarted? Was this being kickstarted or something like that? But it's kind of from that culture. This is a game that people who played the other System Shocks want to play. Yeah, they want this game. If this is like System Shock 2, then fucking hell. Fucking hell. I mean, that is such a... I mean, if you play System Shock 2...
Yeah.
Right. So that is a game which is like... You get lost in the game. The whole, like, fight with Shodan. Is Shodan actually bad? Or is it just delusional? What's going on? What is really going on? And as it starts to unravel, it's like, good, what the fuck? And it's crazy. It's a really well-made game. I want a System Shock 3, but I want it to be like System Shock 2, right? Yeah. Or hell, even with elements of System Shock in it. But System Shock 2, I want it to be like that. Now, they either give us that, or they don't. They give us, like, I mean, there's so many games that have been remade, which are shit, like Syndicate. Remember when they turned that... Syndicate is not an FPS game, but they turned it into an FPS game, and it was shit.
Yeah.
This, I mean, Other Side, they do... I think they've got guys, haven't they, from the original... Well, there's team members from...
They've got a few from the original guys, but what's his name? I've forgotten his name. The leader of it. That's really annoying me. The producer from the first one isn't going to be doing this. Not the first one. From System Shock 2 is not going to be involved in System Shock 3. He said he isn't, but I can't remember what his name is. That's really annoying.
I mean, Ken.
Yes.
Ken, from BioShock. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not involved in System Shock 3. But
is that a bad thing though? Because I didn't think BioShock was that good. BioShock 3.
BioShock Infinite wasn't very good, but I really enjoyed BioShock. I thought BioShock was pretty damn good.
Yeah, and that was, you see, that was quite similar to System Shock as well, in a way.
Yeah.
BioShock Infinite was all right, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know whether that's a bad or a good thing. I think I'm kind of indifferent towards that. I mean, they say they've got things like Terry Brosius, the Showdown voice.
Yeah.
So most likely that'll be back and stuff. I want to see it. I do want to see it. This is something. If you walk, this is like when they announced Homeworld Remastered. It's one of those things where I want it. I didn't really know that I wanted it, but I've always wanted it. Like if you come up to me and said, "Hey, Sty, we're going to remake a game. What would you like?" I'd be like, "I want you to, like, right now, seriously. I want you to make an MMO which is like EverQuest, the really old EverQuest, but modern. Thank you. Goodbye." And they'd say, "But Mr. Stylosa, nobody will play it." I say, "I don't care. I'm in fact a Saudi oil baron, and I'm worth 20 billion. Make it for me." But sir, you don't look like a Saudi oil baron. Well, I believe I am. I'm not. That's a lie. Yeah, I'll take it, Mr. Kirioth, provided it's good. But we don't know anything about it yet, so it's hard to talk about it. All we can see is a fucked up picture of what appears to be Shodan's face.
Yeah,
being rebuilt.
That's all we've got.
Shodan had problems at the end of the other one.
Well, you know what? Talking about unexpected let's go on talking about unexpected sequels. Psychonauts 2 has been announced by one Mr. Schaefer Esquire.
So not unexpected, but okay.
Psychonauts 2 wasn't unexpected. It was unexpected.
Psychonauts made loads of money for him, so they obviously would make a sequel.
It made loads of money eventually. When it first released, they had to.
But if you look at the games they've got, look at the games they've done and the games they've kickstarted. That is a game which they've not entirely kickstarted, have they? It's on that stupid thing, but it's still kickstarting to me. Fig, is it Fig or just made that up?
Fig. No, You know what? I don't think
out of their entire catalog,
made them anywhere near as much as you think it has.
It has. If you watch the video for the start of the Fig campaign, Psychonauts 2, where he says, "We made Psychonauts and it sold quite well and it got this and got that and it made like hundreds of thousands of sales, but then it's actually made like 1 million sales since that date. You guys still love Psychonauts, so we're making another one."
Yeah, there we go.
That's what he said.
Yeah, sorry, I'm reading it. I'm reading it now because I was reading the first bit where when they first released it, they went from a net profit of 18 million to a net loss of 18 million. So I was reading that and I was like, because I didn't watch the video. I just read all the stuff and I was like, Psychonauts 2 on Fig. Okay, they got this, they got that. They're doing a gold campaign where people have to complete tasks to do various things. They got all the usual stuff.
I think Brutal Legend was the capitulating game that they made. That didn't make no money.
I mean, the thing already though. So at the moment, there's Psychonauts has sold nearly 1.7 million copies, with more than 1.2 million occurring after Double Fine's acquisition of the rights. I mean, 1.7. That's quite a bit of money for Double Fine as the company that they are, by the size of them, and especially given that Psychonauts didn't make that much money until well after the game had released, because it released and just flopped.
Well, the reason why it's not a shock for me is because that game is widely received as a great game, and it's made loads of sales after the fact. It doesn't matter when they've made the sales, it has. So out of their entire catalogue, that would be the game that they currently own the rights to, that they could say, right, we're going to make another one of these, and it will succeed. I mean, I presume, I haven't looked at its Fig campaign for a while, but I presume it's succeeded. It'll easily succeed, because people want Psychonauts too.
Yeah. The thing is, the idea of giving them money to do anything,
well, it'll just be back, Blake. It's all right, Blake. It's all right. Even if they fuck up, they'll just be back for more.
Yeah, at the moment, so they're at 2.762 million out of 3.3 million goal.
Oh, so it's not going that quick then?
Well, 83% funded with 26 days left. It's not doing too bad.
No, but the other ones were instantly funded, weren't they? Like within a couple of days, they'd be done.
Maybe people have. I was gonna say maybe people have learned, but they haven't, because they're funding it again. So I know that he did say that 3.3 million is not enough. I know he did say that, didn't he? For the production of Psychonauts 2. Because Psychonauts 1 cost God knows how much.
They've got their money. They've got the backers' money. Then they've got, I think most of the money's coming from external investment.
Yeah.
I think they say.
Yeah. I don't know. I really just... at this point, don't give Double Fine money until the product's out. Just don't do it. I mean, I'm happy for those people who want to see Psychonauts 2, and I guess I was a bit short-sighted and just kind of going, "Who the fuck wanted Psychonauts 2?" But at the same time, they've proven themselves incapable of managing stuff properly. And this is the other thing that's getting me. Who the hell? Who after the utter disaster that was, what was it, Space Station DF9 or whatever it was called?
DS9 or something.
Yeah, who after that?
No, that's Deep Space Nine.
Who after Broken Age looked at those two games and went, these guys clearly know what they're doing in terms of delivering a quality product on budget and on time. We'll give them loads of money to produce a sequel to a game that admittedly now has done well, but when it launched just died and cost the company so much.
They don't. They don't, Blow. I'm pretty sure investors just look at what they'll make out of it. They don't give a shit about any of that. They'll just look at it and think, right, so you got this much money, you generate this many sales, there's this much profit, we'll get this much return on investment. That's fine. They don't care who you are. They don't care if you're a cunt and you don't know what you're doing. It's fine. And you block people on Twitter for no reason.
It's crazy.
The problem is we get too emotionally invested in it, and we look at the other arguments, and most people, it's natural for people to do that. But people who are invested in stuff, they don't care. They don't care if you're the worst dictator known to man. If you're going to give them money, Well, if they give you 10 million and you give them 10 million back, well, 15 million back, then you can have their money. I always find it that world of these, like the types on Dragon's Den and things like that, where people have just got massive amounts of money and all they do is give the money away and then make more money. They don't care who you are. I mean, think of Dragon's Den. They don't care. It's like, you're a wanker, but I like your product. Have some money. You fucked people over in the past. It's fine. Do it again. It is annoying to me and you. What's annoying to me is the fact that people keep coming back and shoveling money into Double Fine's face, which, like, not investors, but just people from the public who.
You know what? I really.
Massive Chalice was shite. That was poor.
I hate to be the person that does this, but I saw something on Twitter and it rubbed me up the wrong way severely. Like, severely. I can't remember off the top. I think it might have been Notch. But if I'm wrong, I apologise, Notch. But there was someone who said that they had supported at the top tier. They'd done the massive, like, I think it was either 5,000 or 10,000.
Notch did the 10,000 one. I know that.
Yeah. Okay, so it was him. And someone said, "Why didn't you invest instead of?"
Yeah, you said this on the last hotfix.
Yeah. How can you just... I don't understand how you could say you haven't got the stomach for investing in something when you've literally just given $10,000 away. I don't understand.
When you're worth billions.
That mentality is insane to me. I mean, I know you can afford to just throw it away, but if it's a choice of you either give them 10,000 and you make that back, or you just give them 10,000 and everything else is remotely the same.
You know what I'd do if I was Notch? I'd start...
What part of your brain goes, "Oh, just give it away, fuck it"?
Who knows, mate. But I'd start Sty's Super Game Foundation, and all I'd do is I'd make games I want happen, and because I've got billions, so I'd just be like, right. The internet would love me because I'd just be making all the games they wanted. I'd go to Reddit, right, and I'd just go, "What game should we make?" And they'd be like, "Oh yeah, we want this game," and I'd just go, "Nice one," and I'd turn up somewhere, "Here's 100 million budget, make the best game ever." And they'd be like, "Jesus Christ!" And I'd be hailed as a hero. I'd be losing money, but I wouldn't care because I've got billions.
I don't know.
I'd have my EverQuest original, like, remade game, and I'd make Star Citizen happen faster because I can't be arsed waiting for it. I'd have like a new Command and Conquer would just be made with all the original actors and everything, and I'd just find Westwood and go, "Right, you work for me now," and they're like, "Right," and I'd just get everybody. Everybody who knows everything about RTS game design. I'd just hire the best people in every single set. I'd walk into Blizzard and I'd go, "Right, we need your multiplayer team." They'd be like, "What? No, you work for me now. Thank you." I wouldn't
take
hire
a seat over here.
Yeah, then I go, "I want a new Supreme Commander. I want it called Supreme Sty Commander." All the games have shit names. Sty Prime Commander, yeah, it'd be like really shit name. And what I want is a 1 million unit cap. 1 million, do you understand, boys? They're like, "Well, boss, we've got to invent some crazy technology." "That's fine, here's 100 million.
And just, like, just sell it alongside with the game, but for like £1, even though it costs 100 quid to produce free. Each part.
Bloke, I'm like some crazed game philanthropist. I'm just like, it's free. Just give it away. Like, first 24 hours, everybody can download it. I wonder
how long
it
would take you to run out of money? Just in like year one, everything just collapses.
1 billion is a lot, bloke. 1 billion is 1,000 million. You could go for some time.
Yeah, but if you're throwing down 100 mil at a time. To fund stuff quicker, it would just disappear instantly.
Maybe not 100 mil then, 50 mil, 100 million. But I wonder what you could make with 1 billion.
Anything Holy you shit. Like, surely, just whatever you want.
You could have like, imagine like if you were just making. I don't know. I'm looking at the Rise of the Tomb Raider article you sent me. I was for some reason making $1 billion Tomb Raider game. I'd have like 10,000 people working on Lara Croft's face. Would be it. It would be the most detailed thing you've ever seen. It'd just be crazy.
I would make the entire game live action.
Yeah.
Every single possible variant of people moving the character would be live action.
It's all VR. But yeah, they're employed non-stop and they react to what you say.
Oh no, you just have literally every single outcome from every single movement or button press at every single point in time in the game, and you'd have all of that captured as live action.
It'd be it would be, and then you could live in the game.
It would be insanely. It would be borderline impossible, but we'd do it because we had $1 billion. Or I'd just buy a massive yacht and go to Monaco with one of the two. I'd probably go for the massive yacht.
Oh no, not a
Actually,
super yacht.
Yeah, that's a thing that we just mentioned quickly. Rise of the Tomb Raider is coming in January, apparently. I'm quite looking forward to that because I really enjoyed the previous Tomb Raider. In fact, I streamed that for a few weeks, thinking about it. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. It was quite a good game. So hopefully, Rise of the Tomb Raider is more of the same. Maybe a few less quick time events. Although I will note that I did I saw a couple of videos of it. Lara Croft, even more than she used to be, is now beyond superhuman. At the one point, I saw someone hanging from a ledge, and there was a ledge up like that, and she did the Assassin's Creed thing where they somehow pull themselves up and leap backwards and hold on to it. It was a good 8 feet up and back, and she did it with one hand, and I was like, holy shit. No wonder she can survive all this stuff. She's clearly just a mutant or something, or she's just Superwoman, not using her powers properly. It's getting a bit... That's just a general criticism of a lot of games now, though. It's getting a little bit silly. Just kind of... I can kind of suspend the disbelief for some stuff.
You've heard it, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Kirioth, you've heard it here. Games are getting silly, he says.
It's just a little bit more silly than it used to be.
As he plays Overwatch, look at me and my Overwatch thing on. As he plays Overwatch, he's a fucking giant chimp with a laser gun. The game's got silly.
It depends on the context of it. Like Assassin's Creed, you're in virtual reality. You can do whatever the fuck you like. It's not real, is it? It's virtual. I mean, in Unity, you end up climbing up the side of the Eiffel Tower during a Nazi occupation or some shit. Clearly, it's fine. A woman from Cambridge performing superhuman jumps. I don't know. It's just tone it down just a little bit. I think we'll finish. We'll finish on because I want to know if you're excited about this because I know you must be. You've got to be excited about this, bloke. Battlefield 5 currently in development. Says Dice Rep.
I think I am. Now,
are you really?
No,
really?
Not really. I might be lying.
I was being sarcastic, and I was like, "Oh
can
shit!"
I just talk? Actually... No. Battlefield 4 is meant to be pretty good at the moment. In fact, DICE have been hailed as doing quite an amazing job with Battlefield 4 to get it where it is. It's meant to be a really good game now. That's the problem though with Battlefield, and Battlefield 3 and 4 suffer from this, where they were just shit at launch, and you have to. Yeah. Going into a Battlefield game, you can't just buy the game and it'll be fine because in a few months' time there'll be some sort of premium pack thing which comes out. So if you haven't paid the extra 40 quid for the premium, then you don't get that and you miss out on it, and then you get this feature creep going on, and then the game keeps getting balanced and changed. And they always seem to me like now they're falling into this kind of bracket of you only buy this game at the end of its life. Now would be a great time to buy Battlefield 4. It was not a great time to buy it 2 years ago because it was shit, and now it's not, and it's okay. I mean, this kind of goes into a wider debate as well of the price of multiplayer games these days. Rainbow Six Siege is apparently really good. Now,
I know.
It's just a multiplayer game. It's a multiplayer game, and it's 50 quid. And Battlefront is a multiplayer game, and it was 50 quid. And Call of Duty, a multiplayer game, really, and that was 50 quid. And when you start putting them together, it's a lot of money. If you want to buy all these games, it's a hell of a lot of money to just pick them up.
And it's not even counting standard the fact that you're going to be paying for DLC within a couple of months.
This seems to be a really high barrier to entry. This is because Rainbow Six, no matter how good it is, I would bet my life on it that the community will collapse fairly soon. As people stop playing it, nobody's going to be picking it up. They might do if it has a drastic drop in price, which actually Battlefront had 20% off the other day. So that's just come out.
Quick. Yeah.
I know it's in conjunction with the film, but
then GameStop did say that sales were disappointing, except they didn't say sales. So what a daft story that was. But I'm the same. Battlefield 3 and 4, like you say, they launched in not a great state. But the problem is that whenever someone says they're good now, or this game was crap at launch, but it's good now, I think for the majority of people, the time is past. Even if it's great now, I'm not going to go back and play Battlefield 4 because there's new games to play. And
of course, we totally forgot about Hardline. That was shit. That was really shit.
I didn't forget about it. I wiped it from my memory.
Yeah, I did as well.
Terrible. Such a poor game. Oh god. I mean, the physics in that for the vehicles. I know it's very standard Battlefield physics, but you don't tend to notice just how janky and crap they are when you're driving a tank. When you're trying to drive a sports car, that apparently has no suspension whatsoever and just like bounces off rocks like straight up and straight down. That's poor. Like that was, it might have been an okay game if it didn't have such a reliance on making vehicles a big part of it, but it did. And sorry, but your vehicles aren't good enough. Like the way you've coded them, the way you've dealt with them, not good enough to warrant making people use them all the time because it doesn't feel good. And isn't Battlefield going down in popularity anyway? I'm sure they've been steadily selling less. I know that it's still going to be enough to make it worth making Battlefield 5, but there's got to be a hard limit at some point. There's got to be a hard line at which point you need to... They can't make them forever, surely. And what can they do with Battlefield 5?
Well, it's a fatigue thing. It's the fatigue thing. 5. Fucking 5. It's called Battlefield 5. Well, I mean, we presume it'll be called Battlefield 5 because of 4 and 3. Yeah, what do you do? I mean, you don't go into the future because that would just be weird for Battlefield.
And also, that's Call of Duty's territory anyway. I mean, they're at a point now where I don't understand where they're supposed to go because Battlefield 4 was pretty much the same as Battlefield 3, which was pretty much the same as Bad Company 2. Hardline was like... I don't
2145, where's that?
Was.
Where's that? Why haven't they remade that?
Yeah,
2146.
Yeah.
Because it would be because that would be a refreshing take on it instead of just the same old military man shooter shit again. No matter how good it is, no matter how visceral it is, and all that shit, still the same. I mean, what's the difference between Battlefield 3 and 4? They're set in exactly the same era, the same game. That's the thing which annoys me. I mean, it's like an idiot. You look at them and they are okay. There might be like little nuances and little changes, and this is a better system, and blah blah blah, and all that shit. But honestly, it's the same fucking game. It looks the same. They look the same.
I can at least concede that even though I am absolutely totally burnt out on Call of Duty as a franchise at this point, I can at least acknowledge that there are changes. They might be small, they might just be little tweaks, there might be just tiny adjustments to, maybe now you can war run, or maybe now the zombies mode is better than it used to be. But I can at least acknowledge that things are at least slightly different. Yeah. Nothing different with Battlefield. There's nothing different at all.
No.
There's no advance in guns. There's no advance in technology in terms of vehicles or aircraft. There's no advance in modes. It's all the same modes that it used to be. If anything, it's just gone backwards slightly because the scenery is nowhere near as destructible as it was in Bad Company 2. So if you're not taking the game forward in time and you're not changing up the way that it plays and you're reducing certain aspects to worse than what they were like however many years ago, I don't understand where the point of the game is or where the game is supposed to go as part of a series. You at least want to see a little bit of progression, even if it's a little bit. Even if it does mean going into stupid territory where apparently you have gravity spikes, whatever the fuck those are in Black Ops 3. At least that's like, I hear that and I'm like, what the hell is a gravity spike? That sounds mental. There is nothing in Battlefield where you hear it and go, that sounds a bit crazy. Because it's all just the same shit as before. Do you want to lay down some C4 like you could do for the previous 8 years? Brilliant, great, because it's just the same thing again. They either need to do something really impressive or just cut it out. I say they need to. They obviously don't need to, because otherwise they wouldn't just keep producing them, but I would at least hope that
I think that studio,
different.
I think DICE, though, is in an interesting place. I mean, they've got Mirror's Edge coming out. They've got, so that's okay. Battlefront came out, didn't do too well. I think they expect that to do amazingly well, but I don't think it did. Yeah. And then you've got Battlefield 4 just tagging along, I guess, and they're going to make a new Battlefield game because that's what DICE do. I mean, DICE, these were the guys that made Codename Eagle. Well, some of them made Codename Eagle, which was the precursor to Battlefield 1942, which is when DICE was set up, and then that's where Battlefield came from. But I mean, look at that. That was World War II. I mean, hell, if they made a World War II Battlefield game, I'd fucking love that. I would play that. If it was Battlefield 1944 or something, I'd play that.
Yeah,
that would be great to me. That. Yeah, I would. I don't want another modern military fucking Battlefield game. I just don't want that.
We especially don't need another Battlefield modern military game because we've already got like 3 that
are identical.
Yeah, I mean maybe Bad Company 2 is a bit beyond now, but if you really had to, you could go back and play it, and I don't think you'd be disappointed with it.
Actually, you say that Battlefield 2 and Battlefield Bad Company and Battlefield Bad Company 2 were still just in the same era, really.
Yeah,
they did have different things. I mean, Battlefield Bad Company 2 had all of the bloody destruction going on, which the other Battlefields didn't have. That's kind of where the destruction started to come in.
I wonder if that's not where Battlefield lost me at Battlefield 3, because I remember crazy, amazing moments in Bad Company 2 when we used to play it, where I especially remember being in a building, hiding behind a wall and being like, "Oh, I'm going to mug someone." Then there was no wall. And then there was another shot and there was no bloody building because the entire thing collapsed on my head and I was dead. Instead of sitting there going, that was bullshit, I was like, holy shit, that building just collapsed on me. That was quality. Oh my God. And then I respawned and it was fine. I never had anything like that happen in Battlefield 3. Never. Not once. I never had any moments in I have multiple moments where I think back to Battlefield Bad Company 2 and I'm like, that was quality. That was hilarious. I can't believe we did that. That was amazing. Battlefield 3, I have no memories of that. Battlefield 4 is now... I'm not joking. I've melded Battlefield 3 and 4 at this point, and I can't remember which bits I vaguely remember go with which game, because they just felt exactly the damn same. So
the only thing I remember with Battlefield 3 was when we played it at Insomnia, before it even came out. And I remember playing...
on Metro.
And I remember I was... Yeah, that's all I remember, because I got a really good score because I was playing against dickheads and wrecked everyone. And I was like really pumped for it. I was like, wow, that's all I remember. Honestly, that is all I remember for that game. I haven't got these awesome moments of... No, I'm just like...
Terrible.
A shame. But like you said, we do remember Bad Company 2. In fact, there's a video on the YouTube channel, Bad Company 2. A really old one.
Oh yeah, I think there is, isn't there? God, that was a long time ago. Yeah, I think we're...
Like 3 years ago. But...
Oh, the time passes too quickly.
If it was 30 years ago, it'd be fucking a long time ago.
It feels like a long time. It feels like a lot's happened.
If YouTube doesn't get destroyed, you could come back in 30 years' time.
In 30 years...
But if you're not dead, anyway.
In 30 years, you'll be able to be in the video. Some sort of crazy virtual reality, walking around the video as it happens. That'd be quality. That's never going to happen. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is...
It'd be quality, though.
How would you even do such a thing? Come back on Saturday for the podcast. Remember, if you support the...
Well, hang on. What have we dumped off here? EA's shit. What was that about?
Some crap about an esports
in fact,
division.
We should do this. We should do this at the end. Because we're going to... In podcast, we've got the questions that we asked, so we'll do the questions that you guys can give us if you watch podcast and leave in the comments below. But I think at the end of Hotfix, when we ramble for too much on certain subjects, Mr. Kirioth should tell us what we've decided to... Or he's decided not to cover. Because I have no control over this. I see it like a melon.
We've missed off like 3 things. We've missed off. There's an EA esports division, which I missed off because
esports and money.
Exactly, because it's completely irrelevant to anything. Esports don't have anything that you
esports.
Exactly. What they're going to do esports for? Who can make the shittest family in Sims? That's an esports tournament. There's also, it's not just Destiny that you can buy stuff in. It's now Call of Duty Black Ops 3 as well, but it's
the black market they called it.
It's exactly the same principle, and it really makes no difference. So it's covered. What I just forgot to mention it at the time, but it's pretty much exactly the same thing. And the other thing was something for Overwatch, but I binned it off because it looked interesting at the time, and it could have been good for discussion. And I left it in just in case we were short on decent topics to ramble about, which we weren't this week. Because all it's saying is that there were 2 attempts at progression for Overwatch. One of which was the same progression system that you have from Heroes of the Storm, whereby you level up your character and then you get access to new abilities. They tried that internally. Then old Jeff said that was crap and it was horrendously overpowered and it doesn't work, so we stopped doing it. And the other thing that they've tested, but obviously haven't tested publicly, this is in the internal alpha that they did it so that the higher rank your character is, like if you're playing nothing but Reaper, you unlock like cosmetic stuff for Reaper, which they thought would be a different kind of more balanced way of progressing the characters and, you know, giving you the sense of progression. But that didn't work either because no bugger changed characters ever. It was like, I want Tracer to have the fancy jacket with the lightning down the back. Therefore, I shall play nothing but Tracer, and even if the game is so horribly against us that I need to change character, I won't do it because I want the fancy Tracer jacket. And so they've binned that off as well. So they had 2 ideas, one of which was directly lifted from Heroes of the Storm and didn't work, and one of which sounded okay on paper, but had the problem of people never ever changing character, which defeats the point of the game, because it's meant to be fluid and team compositions are supposed to change, and no one would do it. So they've binned both of them off, and they don't know what they're going to do next. So, beyond like pointless speculation, I don't know what they do. Honestly, I don't even know if the game needs progression. I think people expect progression, and that's why they think it should be in there. I don't think it particularly needs it. And the cosmetic stuff that you talked about is going to be in the game anyway. So they like the stuff they did, but there's no point doing it that way. So you'll probably be able to buy Tracer's fancy jacket. She might not even have a fancy jacket. I just made that up as an example.
And I don't know anything about Overwatch, so I can't comment.
He says with the jacket on. But yeah, that's basically it. That's why I bin that off, because we could sit there and speculate all day long, but on the off chance we got something right, Sty would get sued. So we can't do it. That's a lie. But yeah, that was it. 3 things, one of which was related to
I know things.
Things
yes,
that no
goodbye.
man can talk about.